watch Lucha Underground.
Well, we'll be getting to that. We got more wrestling to discuss yet after the Royal Rumble preview. But okay, so we got 2 more matches. The IC Championship match, that stands for Intercontinental Championship match for the average listener. And that will feature current champion Dean Ambrose versus the most recent champion, the guy he took the belt from, one Kevin Owens. I also feel that this is another very straightforward, plain and simple, champion is going to retain match. Should be a great, entertaining match. I don't expect a lot of amazing technical wrestling, but there should be a ton of great brawling type of wrestling in this match, back and forth. Maybe your OMG highlight of the night, I would probably expect to come from this match, as these are the 2 craziest guys that have a match together on this card. And I guess just my only disappointment with this whole quote-unquote storyline feud that they've had with Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose is that it just came out of nowhere, and there really, in my opinion, there wasn't a storyline. There was just a series of matches. And that's never rubbed me the right way. But I understand having the Intercontinental Championship on Dean at this time. I think he's one of the only guys in the company that could carry the IC belt into that match at WrestleMania and have it be something that anyone cares about, and it's appropriate and right. So with that being said, yeah, I think Dean, without question, retains. KO will be written officially out of the Intercontinental title picture, and then I hope that they work on building him as one of the top main event heels, not necessarily giving him the title, but putting him in those storylines and in those matches with those other wrestlers. What do you think?
Oof.
Great timing, Doug Sanders.
Yeah. Oof. What you had to say was a lot to handle, so
What a save. I love it.
Boy. So, I think that Dean Ambrose is going to retain the title first off. I just think that Kevin Owens is just going to move on to something else, probably something bigger, which I hope. And then Dean and Kevin will just end, and this will be their last match with each other. And like you said, like how their feud never really had a storyline. It was just a series of matches. That's like the tag team championship match that we were just talking about as well.
Exactly, I agree. I didn't think of that till now, but you're totally right.
And I mean, it is a last man standing match, and I mean, it's going to be nice to have a different match type.
It is a last man standing match. Ooh, I did not know that. Or none of the other matches that we discussed had special stipulations, no. I don't think. See, and yeah, right there, it just says Intercontinental Championship. God dang it, stupid Bleacher Report. Boo. No, just kidding. You're okay, Bleacher Report, but still. So, yeah, that definitely, I think, now knowing that especially, I feel even more confident that this match will give you your OMG highlight of the pay-per-view. Whatever move wins that match is done to knock out the other guy for the full 10 count, or knock both competitors out, where we get a draw.
It's happened before.
And Dean keeps it, and then they continue this rivalry for one more feud at Fastlane yet, and don't actually get Kevin Owens in anything decent at WrestleMania. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. So I'm changing my pick slightly. I'm still picking Dean Ambrose to retain, but yeah, being a last man standing match, I'm guessing that Dean's going to jump off something, or somebody. The final move's going to take both of them out for 10 seconds, and it's going to end in a double count out.
Yeah, I just don't see Kevin Owens winning. It's either Dean Ambrose winning, or it's going to be a draw. It looks like it could be a draw since it is a last man standing match, and I mean, one more match is kind of nice, I guess, but I prefer something new and fresh.
Well, and especially when you know how it's going to end. Like, I think they need to start working and building whatever the IC titles match storyline feud is going to be at WrestleMania. I think they need to do that after the Rumble here and get started on with that. I think if they wait till after Fastlane to end this feud and then establish whatever we've got for the next Intercontinental Championship storyline, I think that's really bad idea on WWE's part.
And this is their third pay-per-view match against each other, too. They faced off at Survivor Series, they faced off at TLC, and they faced off at Royal Rumble. And the first 2 times, Dean Ambrose won both, too, so...
But look at how many times they'll give us Sheamus and Orton, or Ziggler and Rusev, or, all these other people. Sometimes the normal 3 matches just ain't enough for WWE, and they'll keep force-feeding the same 2 guys down your throat. But so we are in agreement yet again. Mm-hmm. Dean Ambrose retains his title in the Last Man Standing Intercontinental Championship match, and that brings us to our final match of the pay-per-view, the main event. Usually my favorite match of the year, every year in WWE, the Royal Rumble match. Now this year, for the first time ever, the current WWE champion will be defending his title in the Royal Rumble match. Now, there has been one prior time in WWE history where the title was on the line in the Royal Rumble match. However, at that time, the title was vacant. There was no defending champion in the match. So this is, in all reality, the first time ever of its exact kind that this has happened in the Royal Rumble match. And current champion Roman Reigns is the unfortunate wrestler who has that honor of being the first champion ever to be forced to defend his title against 29 other men in the Royal Rumble match.
He's also the first to enter, by the way, if you remember.
That is correct. It was revealed on this past Monday Night Raw by Mr. McMahon that Roman Reigns will be the first entrant in the Royal Rumble. Now, this is an important piece. Because really, I mean, starting with this match really is all about Roman going into it. If he wins it, he's the first person ever to do it. He had to do it as the first entrant. That is also a record that they keep fairly coveted. I want to say Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold are the only 2 people to ever win it from the number 1 spot in the Royal Rumble. Nope. Is that correct? Okay, who else who has won it from the number 1 spot?
Alright, so you're right on Shawn Michaels, obviously. And the second guy is a ghost.
Oh, Chris Benoit.
Who are you talking about?
Don't worry, this room is WWE Ninja proof. You can speak of former WWE wrestlers that they don't want you to remember about freely. This is a safe zone. So I was right that it was only 2 people.
Yeah, only 2 people.
Only 2 people have ever done that in the history of the Royal Rumble. So that is a historical thing that, they really like to state all the numbers and the history and the stats in the Rumble as they promote the show leading up to it. And so knowing that they let Roman get a Royal Rumble victory, or no, he hasn't won yet. Or has he won yet? Yeah, he did win last year, didn't he? He won the Royal Rumble last year.
You totally forgot it?
No, but... Well, kind of. But so... He's already got a Royal Rumble win. Not very many people are allowed to win more than 1 Royal Rumble, let alone win consecutive Royal Rumbles. Plus they gave him the elimination record or whatever.
Yep.
For Royal Rumble. So it's like... Clearly... Royal Rumble is Roman's pay-per-view as of right now, and they tend to do that actually with their big stars, where like John Cena's pay-per-view is WrestleMania, Randy Orton's pay-per-view is SummerSlam. They were just, for whatever reason, certain guys, when you look at their win-loss records and stuff, they tend to always push them or use them big time at certain pay-per-views, and they have definitely established the Royal Rumble as Roman's pay-per-view thus far out of the Shield members, and I would say they've established WrestleMania as Seth Rollins' pay-per-view out of the Shield members. Out of the Shield members, sorry. My brain's getting ahead of my mouth. But so it's... On one hand, I can totally see where this really pushes Roman as much as they possibly can, and that's what Vince has wanted, and it builds him as a strong champion going into WrestleMania. And I totally see that angle. But knowing all the records in it that they've already given him and all the more, all-time greatest Royal Rumble wrestlers ever lists that he'd be at the top of if he were to win this one, I think it's too much too soon, and it will get backlash from the fans, very similar to how much of his recent past has gone. So I don't know. My take with Roman is hard. What are your thoughts on Roman specifically going into the Royal Rumble match and his situation?
I think he's definitely gonna survive a very long time in the Royal. Definitely Final Four for sure.
Agreed. Lock him in as a Final Four. Completely agree with that. That would be one heck of a shocker, though, if someone eliminated him early. But yes, okay, continue.
Well, I think that Roman Reigns, it didn't work so well for him last year, so if WWE were to have him win again, they'd have to have a lot of faith in him and trust the fans. But clearly the fans are not into the product by viewership numbers right now, which doesn't really help that. So I don't know if Roman Reigns would actually win or not. I mean, they could give him the win, but it could also have the same backlash as it did his previous win.
Right. I think the only way a win doesn't backfire is if they have him actually come out and put on an amazing performance, similar to the way he did 2 years ago when Batista won and he was in the finals and the crowd was actually fully behind him to be the winner and take that spot in the spotlight.
And you gotta remember the ending too from the 2015 Royal Rumble. It was like Roman Reigns against Big Show and Kane. Like, that was the final people until Rusev popped up. And then The Rock came out for some reason. He was even in the Royal Rumble match, and he just started eliminating Big Show and Kane with the help of Roman Reigns. And then Rusev came out of nowhere, and then Roman Reigns still eliminated him though, and then Rock and him had a little celebration. Maybe that took some part into him getting booed. Just that ending in general.
Well, and I think the whole point of doing the Royal Rumble pay-per-view this way with the title on the line the way it is and stuff is to establish the champion heading into WrestleMania as we're on the road to WrestleMania. Now, they could do that with Roman. They definitely need to do that with Roman if they plan on him being in that championship main event, I think. However, I think this is their way of getting the belt off of Roman because they know that he can't, in fact, carry that main event at WrestleMania going in as the champion.
I totally agree. I think that this match was made so they could get the title off of Roman
without burying him.
But not burying him, yes.
Yep,
protecting him.
Exactly. We got to get the title off of him before to go into WrestleMania. But we can't bury him because we've put too much time and effort and work into getting him over, and it's starting to work a little bit. Not completely, but better than it was a year ago at least. So yes, I think that Roman Reigns is actually not a good pick to win this match at all. They have official odds, actual official Vegas gambling odds listed for the Royal Rumble match. It's incredible. I'd actually like to put some money down on it. But your odds-on favorite, Roman Reigns is actually the second betting favorite, odds-wise, to win the match. The number one is Triple H. I could definitely see this happening. I definitely envision Triple H being in the Royal Rumble match and using it to set up a WrestleMania match involving him and Roman Reigns.
Well, here's my thing about it. I think Triple H will get involved in the Royal Rumble match. What the Rock is cooking. So, Triple H will be a part of the Royal Rumble match somehow. I don't think he's going to be for sure in it, but he's definitely, I think, going to be a part of it. Maybe he'll he'll come in out of nowhere, sledgehammer Roman Reigns and eliminate, or at least help eliminate him.
Yep. Yep, right.
from the match.
Right. He's written into the match somehow, maybe not even as a wrestling participant. Completely agree. I think that is Triple H's story.